Hey everyone, I am in St. George. Like I mentioned to you, I'd be down here this weekend. Had a class to go to, but wanted to just real quick give you some more statistics, some fun information. St. George is just a great place. We love to come down here. And as I mentioned last week, or maybe it was earlier this week, St. George is the #1 fastest growing metropolitan area in the United States. So metropolitan is more than 50,000 people. They actually have, I think it's around just over 160,000. In 2016, they were the fourth or sixth fastest growing metropolitan area. In 2017, they jumped to first. A couple of things that are interesting about St. George is almost 90%, just under 90%, I think it was, is net migration. So it's not as many births. You know, the population that having children versus Utah County, Wasatch County, even some of those. This is more similar to like Summit County as far as net migration. So that's kind of interesting. St. George, you can see just behind me, this is towards the southeast, and the growth of St. George, so many of the areas are leaving the St. George proper that we all have known for years and going out further and just really expanding. They had an article, there's a 5,000 home development going to happen a little bit further south even, which it was an interesting article because it's going to have a big lake in there, and a lot of people were up in arms about this lake, and they were actually able to show that they're going to save water with this lake, that if they would have put homes, the consumption of the water would have been higher, you know, a greater consumption of culinary water and for lawns and that than having this lake. So it's kind of interesting. But anyway, St. George is just a neat place. One other thing I wanted to share with you is well, a couple of things. If you want to move to St. George or you want to sell property, I know some great realtors. I don't do much I don't do anything in St. George, but come here and try to vacation and relax for a day or two. But I know some great realtors and they'd love to help you either buy or sell property in St. George. Give me a call and I can hook you up with one of them. But it was interesting, one of the meetings I went to, they talked about the number of realtors that are getting their license. Last month, or in March it was, they had 350 new licensees, so people with real estate licenses. They had a net of 150. So in that month, the state of Utah had 350 new realtors, but 200 didn't renew their licenses or put their licenses on inactive, and so they had a net of 150. And Coldwell Banker, one of the things that why I chose Coldwell Banker is because of their training. And if you're interested at all, if you're looking at getting your license and you're wondering where to put your license, give me a call, because Coldwell Banker they just have a lot of training. They do some really neat things. They have a huge retention rate. It's over like 85% for people that are new getting their license and that renew their license in 2 years versus the industry average is like 15%. So give me a call, and next week on the 17th, actually in Fort Union, they're having in the evening on that night, it's next Thursday, a come and meet a realtor, or a day in the life of a realtor, so you can get to see what some of the things are that Coldwell Banker does to help realtors to learn how to get in and be successful. And they just do a lot of training. They have a lot of on-the-job training, shadowing, that type of thing, everything from open houses to SOI and contacting and marketing and CRMs. Anyway, a lot of neat things. But so either way, if you're looking at St. George, if you're looking at getting your license, give me a call. I'd love to help you. And otherwise, don't forget it's Mother's Day. Get your wife something really nice and have a great weekend. See you later.